laptop now.
Yeah.
Am I audible, everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. I'm the Sergeant at Arms of today's meeting, Nidhi Varke. A warm welcome to each and everyone. The mission of a Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Four core values of Toastmasters are integrity, respect, service, and excellence. The theme of our term is participate, practice, perform. I request you all to switch off your mobile phones. It's also recommended to switch off your Zoom audio when you're not speaking. Although we would love to see your faces, so please keep your video on at all times. I thank you all for attending today's meeting. It's now time to call upon our dear President, Toastmaster Abdul Rahim. Sir, please.
Meeting number 419, call to order. Thank you, Nidhi. Thank you very much. Well, fellow Toastmasters, most honored, distinguished guests, good evening to all of you. I hope all of you are doing well and in good health, happy, hale and hearty today. I think the happiest person in the house is our IPP Yashodan. So I don't think he will stop smiling today. So anyway, thank you very much once again for attending this meeting, taking time off on a weekend, especially time of your families, and devoting for us, for Toastmasters. That's a great sacrifice indeed. And it's not easy for attend a meeting on a weekend. So thanks a lot. And we sincerely appreciate your time, contribution, and your effort. Well, having said that, I think we can kickstart the meeting straight away with the grammarian, as the grammarian will have the scope to observe and note down good language that our guests are going to use in their introduction, right? So before the guest introduction, let's get kickstart with the grammarian. When I think of today's grammarian, I'm actually reminded about an anecdote involving Dr. George Bernard Shaw, as we all know, a great writer. In fact, some critics even rate him as second to Shakespeare. My screen has blacked out. Is yours also? Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
No, sir, it is white.
Yeah. So some critics even rate Bernard Shaw as second to Shakespeare. He had a keen sense of humor. So when he got Nobel Award for literature, Oxford University arranged a meet and greet with the writer. So the students were asking questions and Dr. Shaw was answering. So a British girl student, she asked a very informal question. She asked, "Sir, among your known people, who speaks the best English? Who knows the best English?" So Dr. Shaw thought for a while and he said, "Well, among my friends, I have two people who speaks, knows, and writes excellent English. And one of them is Jawaharlal Nehru." And he paused. He didn't speak further. So the girl student, she was curious. She said, "Well, sir, Nehru is fine. What about the second person?" Shaw smiled and he said, "Well, the second person is myself," he said. So among my friends also, I have two people who knows excellent English. And one of them, of course, is today's grammarian. And second person is not myself. Okay. But that person was supposed to come today, and I will spill the beans later, right? Okay. Anyway, so actually today I prepared a very short introduction for our grammarian because we all know her. But since we have a lot of guests, 30 people now, so I have a feeling that I should give her a little more introduction, especially since the guests are here, right? So she is basically from airline industry. When she reached the peak in that highly competitive field, she resigned. and she opted for HR, human resources position. Now she is the HR head of a multinational company, right? Of course, her business is managing people, organizational dynamics, so on and so forth. But the important thing is, she never allowed her corporate life to interfere with her creative pursuits. For example, she's been a WMC Toastmasters for 17 years now, almost, or more than that, probably 18. And she's a brand ambassador of Pathways. She has a master's in English language and literature. She has a master's in psychology and counseling from UK. She's a certified counselor. She loves to counsel and help people resolve their problems. She regularly conducts workshops teaching people English language and creative writing. And we all know the great successful speech craft she has been conducting for so many years for American mission hospitals. She is passionately into theater, where she has scripted, curated, and directed highly acclaimed English plays. After doing all this, she finds time to write prose and poetry. But what I personally admire in her is her audacity to speak her mind, to call a spade a spade. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the woman of substance, the woman of stance and substance, poise and grace, a role model for all of us, the grammarian, DTM Rekha Uttam.
Thank you, President Abdul Rahim, for that stupendous introduction. I don't think I have ever been introduced like that, and this is really memorable for me. So here I am today as a grammarian, and I chose the word and I did post it in the group. The theme, I took the word from the theme, and when I look at it, the theme itself is coming alive in front of us in the president himself. He decided that he needs to participate. He decided that he needs to practice. And he decided that he needs to perform. And that's what we saw last year, him participating in contests and going up to the division level. So the theme is an embodiment, a living embodiment of the president and his team. And I really congratulate the team for choosing such a wonderful theme for the year, which we all can imbibe and learn from. So I chose the word practice. And this is my grouse with Toastmasters, that we talk, but we do not practice. We go through CC10 saying that we should communicate with our body, we should communicate with our voice, but we don't practice that. Most of us remain where we started off. So this year, let us practice, because it started with Aristotle. He said that as it is not one swallow or one fine day that makes a spring, so it is not one day or a short time that makes a man blessed and happy and successful. And Will Durant took it and put it across to us very simply by saying that we are what we repeatedly do. Hence, excellence is not an act, but a habit. And let us imbibe the spirit of practice, which is the word of the day. Owen, if you would share the screen and show the word. Let us practice.
Bit of a difficulty sharing the screen.
Okay.
Sukumar, I'm getting whiteboard and iPhone pad, but I'm not getting the application. Is there anything else I have to do?
No, you just have to go and see if your tab is on the right place. That's all. When you do share screen, it should be on basic.
Yeah, basic.
So, yeah, in basic, then you just do show all windows, please.
Can I share then? If you don't, by the time, so that I don't. Can you all see the screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So practice means perform an activity or exercise a skill repeatedly repeatedly or regularly in order to acquire, improve, or maintain proficiency in it. I need to practice my French. It also means carry out or perform a particular activity, method, or custom habitually or regularly. We still practice some of these rituals today. That's an example. And I'm repeating, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but an habit. So what is it that we are going to practice? We are going to practice in today's meeting as well as in all the meetings, just two simple things. Let our subject agree with the verb, which means if the subject is singular, our verb has to be singular. If a subject is plural, our verb has to be plural. And let's agree on the tense. If we start a sentence in the past, let us continue with the tense. So these are the two things that you're going to practice. More than using the word practice, let me see you practice your subject-verb agreement and your tenses today. Back to you, President.
Thank you very much, Rekhaji. That was beautiful, wonderful, really. And we really look forward to your report at the end. Thank you so much. Well, let's get to know quickly, since time is at a premium, our guests briefly to introduce our most honored guest. District Director is here. Anyway, I'm going to introduce her in a short while, but I'm not sure if she would like to have a word or two. DTM Alifia, would you like to have a word or two?
Thank you, Toastmaster Abdul Rahim. I think I have a formal address, so I'll go with that.
Thank you.
I'll keep my words for the address. Thank you.
Thank you so much. DTM Hisham, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Mr. President, dear fellow Toastmasters, brothers and sisters of WMC, I can think of very few other pleasant pursuits rather than spending an afternoon, a Friday afternoon, with WMC Toastmasters. My name is Hisham. My home club is the Sri Lanka Club Symposium Toastmasters. I will be a general evaluator today, and I think for 3 consecutive years, we've had joint meetings together. The pandemic unfortunately put a stop to it, but I'm sure that the practice can be revived, and that practice will make a perfect friendship. Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here with you virtually, and I look forward to the day that we can meet and greet physically as well. I wish you all the best. Thank you for having me. Back to you, Mr. President.
We are more than happy to see you around. DTM Hisham, thank you very much. Suresh Kakut, can you please introduce yourself briefly? You can unmute yourself. Your voice is not heard, actually. Okay, I'll come back to you. I'll go to Jacob. Jacob BTI, I'll come back to you, Suresh.
Warm greetings to all the Toastmasters. I'm not a Toastmaster myself. My name is Jacob Samuel, and it's a pleasure being here. I'm a teacher by profession, and I've been in Bahrain for the past 3 decades. And very sadly, I'm leaving the country on the 20th of July. I've already been a senior citizen, so I'm forced to leave Bahrain, which was my second home. And I wish all the Toastmasters good luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much for attending. Thank you so much. Cheryl Dimri, would you like to introduce yourself briefly?
A very warm salutation to one and all present here. I have been invited by VP membership TM Punambalam. Thank you for the invite. I'm personally working as a teacher, and I'm a kindergarten teacher. As our grammarian said, practice, practice, and practice. Just because I'm a teacher and I teach small children, so right from the beginning, even my mantra is the same. What generally I tell to all my students is that you practice like you play. Little things make big things happen. So same way, even I follow the same mantra, keep on practicing. And one day, definitely, if we keep that practice thing in our mind, we will have a beginner's mind every time ready to learn. So I'm glad to hear, looking for a great evening. So back to you, President. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you very much. Suresh Kakot, are you okay now? Okay. Well, we have Bhagavati. Ma'am, are you able to introduce yourself?
That's my mother. So
okay, okay. Okay, fine. What about Leena Ponnambalam, also from your family, right? Okay. And Akshata.
Leena is not just from her family. Leena is our family.
Yeah,
I was about to say that.
Yeah. Yeah. Akshata, can you introduce yourself?
Leena,
Okay.
why don't you introduce? Mr. President, can
Leena,
can
you
to
please?
Introduce?
Yeah, can you please introduce, ma'am, Leena? Okay.
Ponnambalam, give her some space.
Yeah. Now she's okay. Yeah, I can see you. You can unmute yourself, ma'am.
Yeah, I have unmuted, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
So what can I say? I'm an ex-member of WMC, as you all know me. And I'm
not
happy
only
to be
ex-member,
here.
Leena, you are one of the executive committee member. Okay.
So I was the treasurer for the WMC club as well. And I'm happy to be here as always. Every time I come here, I'm happy to be here. So looking forward for a great meeting, and looking forward for the report from the grammarian as well. Thank you, Rega Chechi, for such a nice input. I think we haven't heard such a grammarian before.
Yeah. That's why we made sure that she is our first grammarian. On the first meeting, she is our grammarian. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for attending. Suresh Kakot, once again, back to you. Sorry, not audible.
I guess you have to fix your audio settings. Go to audio settings and change your audio.
Yeah. Okay, Dilshad, can you introduce yourself? He has been our ex-member. Dilshad, are you there?
Yes, I am here, sir.
Yeah, please.
Good evening to one and all. My name is Mohammad Dilshad. Mr. T.M. Abdul Rahim has invited me as a guest. I am ex-member of WMC. I am attending this meeting with my son, Farhan. And Farhan is invited by T.M. Ponnambalam because he is in Gavel's club. So Farhan will introduce himself.
Okay.
Good morning, good evening to one and all. My name is Farhan and I'm from grade 7th, New Name School. Thank you so much.
Fine. Okay, I think we have done with Suresh. I don't know whether you can speak right now. Can you? Okay, no problem. Well, without further ado, let's introduce our chief guest of the evening. Well, in fact, today is our first meeting of the term, and we are a newly elected team, right? So we thought it's in the fitness of things that we invite a newly elected district director to grace our meeting, right? So she has graciously sent a short introduction of hers, though we know, all of us know her very well, but still as a formality, I'll read out the introduction. They say it's not the destination, but it's the journey that counts. It's been almost a decade that I embarked on a milestone of my life by joining Toastmasters International. The sights and sounds along the way have indeed made this journey the stuff of dreams. This organization has a lot to offer. Let's keep learning, keep aspiring, keep inspiring. I have been fortunate enough to be entrusted with various leadership roles throughout my tenure with Toastmasters. Having served at the club, area, division have given me an opportunity to be a team player and a team leader. I was humbled to receive the Best Division Director Award of the year 2017-2018. Best YLP Coordinator 2019. DTAC Vice Chairman or Chairwoman 2019-2020 held in Kuwait. I come from a service background where I help patients with a comprehensive reformation. A physiotherapist by profession who believes in holistic rehabilitation of her patients, serving this year as your district director. Well, our District 20 is probably one of the largest, if not the largest districts, with as many as 9 divisions, 140 areas, and quite a number of thousands of members, a very vibrant, divergent community. Ladies and gentlemen, with great pleasure and pride, let us invite our newly elected District Director of District 20, DTM, Alifia Lakdawala.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abdul Rahim. I am just taken aback, taken amazed that what a beautiful, what a quality club this is. Congratulations. As I see that y'all have began your journey in 2003 and all these years y'all are thriving. So kudos to each and every member who has contributed to the success and the ongoing success, I would say rather, of this club. I would like to acknowledge the presence of few leaders out here who I was fortunate enough to work during my tenure in Toastmasters. I think I see DTM Hisham here, Toastmaster Yashodhan, Toastmaster Prabodha, Toastmaster Sukumaran Swaminathan. I hope I don't miss anybody. DTM Tharaya, DTM Babu is here. So a lot of familiar faces are here in this meeting today. From what I saw or what I observed, WMC is thriving. So just keep it up. Coming to the agenda today, coming to the follow-up by the president, immaculate. I mean, he was on spot following up with me till all information arrived on his WhatsApp. So thank you, Toastmaster Abdul Rahim, for that consistent, persistent follow-up that you ensured that I would attend the meeting today. Coming to the agenda, coming to the flyer of the meeting, what I see, WMC has got all the box ticked when it comes to branding, when it comes to quality. I have seen the performance. I have seen particular performance of Toastmaster Sukumar during the area contest, during the other flyers, and this year the baton has been passed on to Toastmaster Prabodha, and I think the job is equally done well. Coming to the senior members, because as I perceive, as I understand that this club has a very good mix of senior experienced Toastmasters who are budding and aspiring. So I think y'all are good in all the aspects. Coming to the VP membership, Toastmaster Punam Balam, if I hope I got the name right. I'm happy to see that the guests are saying that the VP membership has invited, and he has already started fulfilling his duty by inviting guests to our Toastmasters meeting. So congratulations, VP membership. Really, y'all are following what Toastmasters is all about. Coming to your performance, President Distinguished Club proudly finishing with 31 proud members. What can a leader ask for? Continue the same support. I would urge to the VP peer of the club, Toastmaster Prabodha. This year, the team is headed by DTM Alan Paul, who is the public relation manager of the district. And we plan to create awareness on all forums, whether it is social media, that is Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. We want to venture into digital marketing. I reach out to the clubs here, whichever clubs I'm going. We would love to listen to you all, come up with ideas. We need helping hands to go about how can our District 20 perform on a larger scale. This is what we are looking. We want to give a holistic approach to each and every member. Whether you're an HR professional, whether you're a finance professional, kindly reach out to us. We have some plans and we would like to give that comfort, that education, that practice to our members of Toastmasters International. Something which I would like to, I hope I haven't forgotten. Yes, I remembered. I would like to comment on Toastmaster, or rather DTM Rekha's, mesmerizing grammarian report what she presented today. That counts for quality. As a immediate past program quality director, I had the privilege of keeping in touch with members through emails, and she was one of them. Being so many years in Toastmasters, she finished her DTM on the traditional path, and there she again begins her new journey with Pathways. So again, I would urge to the members, whoever has not started the journey in Pathways, y'all have examples, y'all have people who have begun the journey into Pathways, they have completed a level. So everywhere WMC is leaving its footprints in the right way. Let's learn from them, members, let's learn from your senior members, and let's practice. This will make us perfect. We all are here to support each other. We are all here to learn from each other. And thank you, Toastmaster Abdul Rahim. I think I would have missed out something if I would have not come today. So I have learned so much from you all. And it's a honor for me that as a district director, I have been invited to clubs, and they appreciate us so much. They honor us so much. So thank you for having me here. And last but not the least, I would like to tell to guest Mr. Jacob that I know that you are leaving your Bahrain, but you can connect to WMC via an online podium if you're in India too. So do not miss the chance to grow as a communicator, grow as a leader. Age is not a bar. Back to you, Toastmaster Abdul Rahim.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much. A very inspiring, motivational address. We really value your presence, your message, and your effort to come here on a weekend. Thank you so much. We are indeed honored by your presence and by your message. And we wish you all the very best, one of very best to glorious year ahead, 2021-22 as a district director, right? Thank you very much. Well, I have a couple of guests I can see. Toastmaster Dr. Veena Nagaraj, could you please introduce yourself?
Good evening, all.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm Toastmaster Veena. Thank you, President, for inviting me. I'm the current president of Karnataka Toastmasters, and also the president of Angels Toastmasters. I'm happy to be here. Since many days, I was thinking actually to attend the WMC meetings, but you know, some of for one or the other reasons, Fridays will be evenings, especially will be very busy, and it's very difficult to attend. So I thought today I should attend at least for some time. Thank you. Back to the President.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much. Suresh Kakot, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Very good.
Is it
Excellent.
audible?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. After a long time, nice to see you all with familiar face and new teams. Okay. Myself, Suresh Kakot. I was an ex-member of WMC Toastmasters, and hopefully joined from this meeting. Presently, I'm working with the Lulu Exchange company.
Suresh, you were an office bearer also, isn't it?
Yes, yes. Treasurer.
Yeah, I was a treasurer with the WMC in the 2016 term.
How come two treasurers are here today? Leena and...
Okay. All the best for the speakers, and have a great meeting to you all.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Suresh. Thank you very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before I hand the control to our dynamic TMOD, Dr. Babu, just a few words from my side. Yeah.
Mr. President, there is one more guest, Shah Alam is there. So you
Shah Alam. Can you please introduce yourself, Shah Alam?
Shah Alam.
Briefly, can you introduce yourself, your name and your... Yeah.
Sure, definitely. I would like to say thanks to Mr. Owen Krasta to invite me such a lovely Toastmaster group. Myself, Shah Alam, I am a cybersecurity consultant. I am working with Owen Krasta in his organization. I have been a part of Toastmaster within my organization. We are having a group of Toastmaster, And I really love this organization, and it's a good platform for everyone to learn and grow. As Miss Alfia, she just said a few minutes ago. So this is a good opportunity for everyone to learn from our senior and grow as well. Thank you so much. Back to TM Abdul Rahman.
Thank you. Thank you so much for attending, Shah Alam. Thank you. Look forward to your presence more. Ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Toastmasters, most honored, distinguished guests. In 2017, I delivered a speech in WMC Toastmasters Club. Of course, everybody said, as usual, very good, excellent, excellent. But I really wanted to know what exactly is the truth, really. So not all your friends will tell you on your face that your face is dirty, right? Only few soulmates, they will tell you. So during the break in the hotel in Crown Plaza, I went to my soulmate, Toastmaster Manoj Pandey. So he was, I asked him, Manoj, what exactly is the story now? Because it was a 20-minute speech. So he was having a cup in his hand. I don't know whether it was coffee or tea, I'm not sure. He looked at me, had a sip, looked at me one more time, sip, smiled at me, made eye contact, and he said, Rahim, your speech was good, but what he said after that but was mind-boggling, believe me. That really sort of gave a paradigm shift to my speaking journey, right? He said, Rahim, your speech was good, but I missed Abdul Rahim today. What a way to put it. I mean, here is a man who is telling you that, of course, what did he imply? He said that your delivery may be wonderful, your message may be profound, but it didn't come from your heart. You're not yourself. You're not genuine, right? So what a power-packed message, fellow Toastmasters. Come to think of it, you know, we are all unique. All of you are unique. You may have a twin sister or a twin brother who may resemble physically, but to have an exactly a person like you in temperament, in attitude, in habits, in mannerisms, in likes and dislikes, in taste, among this 7 billion people in this planet, it's highly unlikely. You are the only one of a kind. You are unique. And we are all born original. We're not born copy, right? Then only the software is downloaded that you are a creed and caste and, you know, ethnicity and religion, all this. But when you're born, you're original. And we're authentic. As children, we did what we feel like doing. We didn't care. When we were hungry, we cried. When we are angry, the whole neighborhood knew that we are angry, right? But as we grow up, we started acting like somebody. We started speaking like somebody, like I did, right? So even the originality, even those great artists, great creative people, they were all original. They were not copy. For example, Charlie Chaplin, or Michael Jackson, or Elvis Presley, or Mohammad Rafi, or Lata Mangeshkar, or Dilip Kumar, even rest in peace, who died a couple of days ago. They were all original, trendsetters, pioneers in their field. That's why multitudes of people today follow them, copy them. Everybody wants to copy original. Nobody wants to copy a copy, right? Nobody wants to copy a copy. Even, ladies and gentlemen, when you go to buy let's say a mobile phone or a TV set, what is the first thing that ask yourself? Is it original? Right? Because we are ready to pay the extra money for that original piece. We don't mind paying. We value originality. The originality has great value. Yet we are the most original being on this planet. So why don't we value ourselves? Why do we sell short? Right? So ladies and gentlemen, my message to you is, you are a brand. Every moment you're creating your brand with what you're doing or what you're not doing, right? Even when you're entering an office, opening the door, entering your office, and you're holding the door for the person who is coming behind you, at that moment, you are putting an unmistakable stamp and announcing to the whole world, this is me. Make no mistake, this is my brand. So take care of your brand. Make it an ethnic or genuine and authentic brand, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, speak from your heart. You love yourself, respect yourself, trust yourself, but above all, be yourself. In fact, be your best self. On this opening meeting of the term, my message to myself and to all of you is, as Manoj said, when you speak, speak from your heart. Let nobody come and tell you that your speech was fantastic, but I missed you. Ladies and gentlemen, well, now let us call upon our VP Education, Toastmaster Ovin Krasta, to kindly comment on the agenda quickly. Yeah, over to you, Toastmaster Ovin.
Good evening, everyone. About the agenda, we are quite okay. All the role players are there. Only there was last minute we had some kind of shock because one of our original speaker, TM Bilal, couldn't attend the meeting because of personal reason. So then we have replaced him with our Gavilier. Lena Elizabeth Mento is going to mesmerize her with her speech. She's a champion speaker, as well as our speaker Anil Kumar as well there. Okay, back to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ovin. Fantastic job to rope in the Gavalier at the last minute. In fact, Dr. Babu also wrote to me that, Rahim, this was a very proactive decision to bring in a Gavalier. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the story actually started in Trivandrum many, many years ago, right? It started with a young doctor who decided to board an Air India flight to Bahrain, right? When he did that, he had only 3 things with him. Number 1, of course, was the passport and ticket. Number 2, an MBBS degree. Number 3, a plan to stay in Bahrain for 2 years and go back and settle down in his hometown. Now with that, those 3 things, the young doctor collects the boarding card, adjusts his glasses and walks straight to the aircraft and boards the flight. Well, fortunately for all of us, the doctor decided to overstay in Bahrain. Okay, now 21 years and counting. Well, this is also a tribute to a great country called Bahrain, because so many people have come with short-term plans and I've ended up staying 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. I'm sure Rekha will agree with me. She's smiling. So, well, it is not the number of years of his life that he spent here. It is the life that he has injected into the years. That is what mattered. And in those years, one of the watershed year was 2003, when he laid the foundation stone for WMC Toastmasters Club, along with 3 other stalwarts. And he became the founder president of WMC Toastmasters Club, chartered on October 17th. Well, now a lot of people, you might have seen a lot of people opening clubs, starting clubs, sponsoring clubs for different reasons. But here is a man, when he formed the club, completing a DTM project for himself or completing a high performance leadership project for himself was never in his agenda. All his sole objective was to serve the community. In fact, if you study his life, service has been the mantra of his life, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you might have, we see a lot of doctors. What do you see? Not doctors. You take any professionals for that matter. What do you see? Most of them are confined to that 10 into 10 cubicle, right? Here is a doctor who went out of that cubicle, out of that hospital, into the masses, serving the people in community level, social level, cultural level, going to labor camps, listening to laborers, talking to them, spending time with them, consulting them, giving medicine for free. And then what does he say before he leaves? He gives his mobile number to the laborers and he says, if you still have any problem, anytime, please call me. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmaster of the Day, Dr. Babu Ramachandran.
Oof. Dear Mr. President, that was a little too much. God, I cannot believe it. I wish my wife heard this. I don't know how much my wife and children will agree to all that you said, but thank you for those very, very kind words. And anyway, there's a recording which I can show to him later. Today, I'm happy about one thing, that usually I fix my target as 35 members whenever I take up, 35 attendees whenever I take up the role of Toastmaster of the day. And I saw 35, now it's come to 34, but 35. My goal is met at least to start the meeting, number one. I've got a greater challenge before me. And that is that challenge came from none other than the grammarian of the day. Finish by 6:30. And I said, I will do it. And somebody said, do we take bets on that? So bets or no bets, take or no takes. I want to finish it at 6:30. So if anybody overshoots the time, and even if the general evaluator is midway between the thing, at 6:20, I will say, back to you, Mr. President, you take over. So that the responsibility to finish the rest of the meeting is the president's and not the Toastmaster of the day. That's how I said we'll finish at 6:30. However, I am sure we will. We have set the benchmark high. Rahim and company has really taken the Toastmasters world by storm today in this kingdom of Bahrain. Participate, practice, perform. What a theme for the year, as Rekha said. Many of the words which I wanted to say have been said by Rekha, which shows that either fools seldom differ or geniuses think alike. Take it either way. But I said, this is what I wanted to say, and Rekha put it in a much more better way than I would have said it. Again, I wanted to say something, she said it again. But participate, practice, perform. The past 3 days, I was reflecting on this because I was part of a skills training workshop where we have to get our license in the cardiac life support, where we participate in the workshop. Then we practice on a mannequin, assuming it is a person, and then we are supposed to perform in a test. And if we don't perform well, we fail. And that does not give us a license to treat patients who come in with cardiac emergencies. But with these 3 words imbibed in me by the WMC Toastmasters theme of this year, practice, participate, practice, and perform, I went ahead. And you all can rest assured that now I'm qualified to treat you all cardiac emergencies. That much I can say. It's just a license which you renew every 2 years. So it's nothing great. But these words, it's so important in our life. Initially, when I heard the theme, I thought, hey, is there anything special about the theme? Participate, practice, perform. The 3 Ps. But then when I ruminated on the theme, I found that it carries a lot of value. And the word of the day, which has been chosen by Rekha, practice. Yes, so true and so relevant. And Rekha, today I was listening to the Speechcraft Grand Finale. I just put it on for some time, put on the USB, and I was listening to your speech addressing the speech crafters, where you talked about practice and how to go about with it. See, everywhere the word practice comes in, everywhere we have to participate, and every time we have to perform. Perform not just for the sake of winning prizes. Of course, prizes will come their way. But my advice to the ExCom now is, you tell the members, or you implore the members to really participate in different activities inside and outside the club. Reach out into the community, because it's not just the Toastmasters room or the Toastmasters club, which is the beginning and the end of everything. The skills that we develop here while we participate, while we practice the art of effective communication, and we perform within the club, should not be confined to the club alone. The community out there needs a lot of support, especially in the time of this pandemic. I have realized it in the past 1.5 years, much more than the community work I used to do before. All of you sitting here have that great enthusiasm within you to perform as Toastmasters, but perform as citizens, perform as brothers and sisters, the community outside, and make a difference. This is my first advice to you as I take over the role of the Toastmaster of the day today. If I start speaking again, I'm sure we will never reach that goal of 6:30. So I stop for the time being. I'll use it as a project speech. Let me go ahead with introducing the our counter of the day. Here is a person who always believes in saying at least 20 times a day, not the usual He says and he keeps on repeating it. And at times I have been forced when he takes classes for me to say, you have said ask 5 times. But then I realize it's part of his yoga class which he is taking. And that is the yoga guru of WMC Toastmasters, who's going to be not the counter, but the counter. Manoj Pandey, this platform is yours for you to.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction where you told everything about me, that what I do the whole day. So good evening, fellow Toastmaster and dear guests. As a counter, I'll be listening to what the speakers say and marking down on a chart any inappropriate word or sound used as a space filler. Space fillers can be a word such as and, well, but, so, and you know. Inappropriate sounds may be are. I'll also note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase such as I, or this means, you know, and at the end of the meeting, I will provide my report when asked on. To end, there is no glory in practice, but without practice, there is no glory. With this quote, I hand back the control to our most beloved TMOD of the day, Dr. Babu. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manoj Pandey, DTM, for that brief about your role as an accountant. The next person in my team is the timer, a relatively new member in the club. He has captured the hearts of all of us by the simple way in which he moves about. And he believes in time. He believes in the importance of time because I saw him performing in the quiz competition conducted by the Indian Community Relief Fund, the ICRF. With enough practice, he came over, participated in the competition, and performed within the time limits that were there. When a question was given for 30 seconds, he was on the dot finishing it before 30 seconds and was just not performing. He won the prize single-handedly, competing against so many teams of 3 members each. And that is the timer for today. That means he is all ears, all eyes to watch out for the time. And Toastmaster Kiran, as the timer, I wanted to see that people abide by the time, or you can disqualify them. I don't mind. Over to you for describing your role.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you for a great introduction. A warm good evening to fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. I'm privileged to be part of this maiden meeting. I'll be the timer for today's meeting. As a timer, I'll time the project speeches, table topic speakers, and individual evaluators. I'll also alert each speaker of the time they have left by changing my background to green, yellow, and red. Okay, so all the project speakers, like this is 2 for today, will have 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I'll change my background to green, at 6 to yellow, at 7 to red, and they'll have a 30 minutes grace period. Similarly, for table topic speakers, we'll have 1 to 2 minutes. At 1, I'll change to green. 1.5, I'll change to yellow. And at 2 to red with a 30-second grace period. For the individual evaluators, they'll have 2 to 3 minutes. At 2, we'll change to green. At 2.5 to yellow, and 3 minutes to red with a 30-second grace period. I encourage everyone to pin my screen to get the right notification. Let's all practice and become a great speaker in this coming year. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kiran. And now it's time to start the educational session of the first meeting of the current term of WMC Toastmasters for the year 2021-2022. But before that, I think we have a guest, Mariam Thomas. Are you there? Would you like to introduce yourself? I see. Is there I see Mariam Thomas and Nidhi had sent me a message. Mariam, are you there?
Hello?
Yes, Mariam.
Am I audible?
Sure. Go ahead.
Good evening, Toastmasters and fellow guests. I'm Mariam Thomas and I'm a member of the WMC Gavels Club. I'm actually the immediate past president as the new EXCOM had already been initiated. So I'm looking forward to this new EXCOM initiated meeting. So all the best to all of you and thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mariam. Welcome. I think there may be many more guests, but I'm not sure. But if there are some during that break of the photo shoot, we will get an introduction from them. As we go into the first speech of the day, which is going to be evaluated by none other than the father of the Gaveliers. Yes, he is the father, guardian, the mother, the parent, come what may. He enables all Gaveliers to participate, to practice, and to perform. And he empowers them. And behind him is the successful woman who keeps motivating him. I should not forget Leena, who gave me the tag of love, Dr. Babu, which has stuck to me. Leena, thank you for joining in today. And again, Abraham Samuel, thanks for accepting my invitation to be here today. Thank you. I know you're leaving, but we come from the same school as schoolmates, Abraham and myself, but I didn't know him for so long. I just got myself introduced to him yesterday. Thank you, Abraham, and welcome all other guests. Toastmaster Ponnambalam is going to evaluate the first speaker. Toastmaster Ponnambalam, can we hear from you the objectives of the project? You are mute.
You are mute.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. My speaker, Toastmaster Anil Kumar, is attempting his Project 1 in dynamic leadership. The purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. I wish all the best to my speaker, Toastmaster Anil Kumar.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Ponnambalam. The speaker is my mentee, and we were in touch and we are in touch quite often, though I must admit that of late, we could not get in touch with each other for the project speeches. He is well versed in the game of football. He actually gave a speech some time back about his experience in playing. And his introduction, as he says, is he's a great fan of Argentina, especially of Maradona and Messi. It's good, but don't get messed up with Maradona's things. That's what I would like to say. Be a Messi, but not a Maradona. Sorry, I'm not casting aspersions on the great footballers. He was born and brought up in Calicut, which is an important district in the state of God, which is known as God's own country, Kerala. And there, the craze for soccer is unparalleled. He was also a member of the EXCOM in the past year, And today he's here to deliver his level 1 speech titled Scissor Cut, again related to football. So I think he breathes, eats, and sleeps football. Mr. Anil Kumar, Toastmaster, can we welcome you, with a loud round of applause. The screen is all yours. Your timer, please note, is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes.
We don't learn from awards and rewards, but we learn from wounds and scars. From every wound, there is a scar, and every scar tells a story. And some stories have a twist. Good afternoon, my dear fellow Toastmasters, and welcome, distinguished guest. It was not Kapil Dev's glossy posters that adorned the walls of that 8-year-old boy's bedroom. Instead, that space was claimed by Diego Maradona. The boy used to stare at Maradona's pictures for hours with dreamy eyes, dreaming to become another Maradona. Yes, Calicutt's own Maradona. Indeed, a monumental goal for an 8-year-old. But dreams know no age, no cage. He didn't dream of beating the goalkeeper. He always dreamt of destroying the goalkeeper. Yes, my dear friends, you guessed it right. That 8-year-old boy is standing right in front of you. Growing up in a village near Calicut, Kerala in India, no wonder football ran in my blood. So did Maradona. Because Calicut is one place where football beats cricket in popularity. In fact, British brought cricket to India, whereas Portuguese brought football to Kerala. The craze for football is unparalleled here. Where else you can see a die-hard Brazilian football fan is selling his fish at half the price on the day his team is playing in the World Cup matches. So that's the poor fisherman's way of expressing his love for football towards the world. However, it's a different kind of soccer in our place. Okay, let me ask you a question. How many players are there in each team for a football match? Somebody can unmute and tell. It is 11. But in our place, Malabar, it is only 7 players in each team. And it is called sevens football. Of course, the playing field is smaller compared to 11s. And the rules are slightly different. And the rigorous refereeing doesn't kill the excitement of the match at all. Normally, sevens football season starts in November and it ends till May. And every village has their own shares of clubs. And they literally fight every year for the ever-rolling trophy. And the star players acquire the status of local legends. Love for food, love for football, love for music. These 3 defines the characteristic of Malabar. The boy carried his football passion on his heart all the way to the Gulf. We started practicing football on the beaches of Muscat every Friday mornings. And when our other friends snored under their blankets, our dreams soared on the sunny golden beaches. One day, it was drizzling early in the morning while we were practicing for our inter-department matches. The grassy ground was wet. I received a shot from the corner while attempting for heading the ball to the post. I fell down. I could not stand up alone, and it was paining backside too much, and I could not walk properly. My friends took me to the hospital. doctors examined and they confirmed that my backbone disc has been collapsed. And after the treatment, the painful advice I received from the doctors from Muscat was, Anil, never ever play football in your life. And one of the doctors warned me, forget about football. If you again fall like this, you will not even walk. It was an agonizing moment in my life. It hurts more than my injury to have to watch my team losing without me. I longed to be back on the ground, but the only thing I can do was work hard and bounce back to life. I recall the story of the phenomenal Brazilian football player, Ronaldo, who owes his career to Dr. Richard Stedman. After multiple serious knee injuries, worked hard, bounced back to life, and scored 8 times in the World Cup matches when Brazil lifted the cup. After returning from Oman, I met Dr. Arshad in India, who is specialized in sports injuries by using traditional Ayurvedic treatment. I went through physiotherapy along with various Ayurvedic massages. Of course, the treatment was tough, but my determination was to over all those obstacles. The treatment included modern scientific diagnosis techniques along with sports medicine principles. The massages with various herbal oils gave me great relief. And after 4 nights of treatment, I improved a lot. The good thing was, Dr. Arshad was very confident that I would play football again. That was a shining cloud for me. After a successful treatment in India, I went back to Muscat. We played our best ever match and we lifted the cup in the finals for our department. And I was jubilant with my entire team by lifting the cup after a painful journey. My dear friends, we are all created to make someone else's life better. Someone needs our smile and they need our love and encouragement. When I desperately wanted a medical support, Dr. Arshad and his entire team gave me that love and encouragement. And whenever we pursue different goals in our life, there will always be obstacles. But remember, these obstacles are created to make us stronger, not weaker. But for that, we need to make some scissor-cut decisions in our life. So from every setback, we can come back. And please do remember that a bend on the road is not the end of the road. Over to Toastmaster of the day.
Wow, wow. Anil, that was great, phenomenal. This shows the importance of practice. This shows that you have practiced hard, you have participated today, and you have performed well. This is the first piece in the pathways, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right? Usually we give a standing applause for whenever you do the first speech. In our club, we do that. Assume that we are all standing and accept the applause. Well done, Anil. Well done. I think you did it very well because I didn't mentor you to this time. Great. That's amazing. As we go into the next speech, you see, we always learn from Gaveliers. And I have seen the phenomenal way in which WMC Gaveliers, under the able guidance of Ponnambalam, participate in contests and in meetings. And I saw their performance at the fun meeting held 2 weeks back. It showed the caliber that the younger generation possesses. And we Toastmasters have a lot to learn from them. So when the VP Education, Owen, told me that one speaker has dropped out and he asked, can we get a Gavelier? I said, that's absolutely fantastic. Get a Gavelier. Let's hear from that Gavelier. And to evaluate the next speech, we have another dynamic Toastmaster of WMC Toastmasters, the past VP Education of the club, instrumental in removing my technological incompetence to a certain level by pushing me into the first speech of Pathways. He has got a wonderful accent, and the way he speaks attracts everyone. And on a lighter note, my wife heard him speaking and said, Babu, see how he's speaking, and you call yourself a good speaker. That day I decided I will never bring my wife into Toastmasters. She will criticize me again and again. May I call upon Toastmaster Jeffrey Abraham to give us the objectives of the speech to be delivered next. Jeffrey?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, DTM Babu Ramachandran. Thank you very much for those warm words of welcome. Fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests, today we have a Gavalier, Lena Mentor, who will be performing her 9th speech or 9th project within the Competent Communicator Manual. I believe that they are doing this as a practice towards the future to undertake Pathways as a future Toastmaster. The objectives of the speech is to persuade listeners to adopt your viewpoint or ideas or to take some action, appeal to the audience's interests, use logic and emotion to support your position, and avoid using notes. The speech is titled A Beautiful Moment, and I wish all the very best to Gavalier Lena Mentor. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jeffrey. The speaker is a 10th grade student of the Asian School, Bahrain. Her hobbies are dancing and listening to music. And from what I understand, she is a very active member of the WMC Gavel Club. The speech is titled A Beautiful Moment. Let's welcome Gavalier Lena Elizabeth Minto with a speech titled A Beautiful Moment. A round of applause to Lena Elizabeth Minto. Welcome, Lena.
There are many things that we miss every day just because our lives are too hectic or too scheduled. Respected Toastmasters and most welcome guests, a very warm good evening to one and all. What keeps us happy and healthy as we move through life? When I got the results of grade 9, my parents listed out a number of instructions that I had to follow for the next life-changing level, grade 10. And from then onwards, I have always been practicing worksheets, assignments, homeworks, extra questions, studies, more studies, and extra studies from guides and previous year question papers, and so on. In fact, I used to consider this busy schedule as a badge of honor. But then, one day, I realized, does this badge really make me happy? Near to our apartment, there is a small playground where I used to play till grade 9. In fact, I was the one who used to call each and every one of my friends to play. But now, I could hear the sound of my friends playing. Shall I go? No, I'm busy. I'm a grade 10 child. I should work hard and score good marks. A few days later, I heard someone knocking on the door. I opened the door and saw my friend standing there. They asked me, Lena, shall we go and see the sunset? It's quite beautiful. Oh, sunset! It is the most beautiful scene and I wanted to watch it every day. No, I have assignments left to do and I turned back. A few days later, I heard them calling me again. You should really come and see the sunset. It's quite admirable. Oh, really? Yes, I'm coming. No. If I come, my homework and my schedule will be a total mess. Immediately, all the good memories I had till grade 9 flashed into my mind. All those fun moments, parties, holy celebrations, and the scolding of our dear elders for drenching ourselves with water. I missed everything. How many beautiful moments did I miss? Tears started to roll down my cheeks. The next day, I heard my parents calling. Shall we go and see the sunset? I was so happy and I ran upstairs. And with the permission of my parents, I called all of my friends. It was beautiful. We stood there watching the sky change from a dazzling pink to a dark red and then to a deep purple. A calmness settled all over, and I wondered, do I always have to be so busy? It was a magic moment filled with happiness. It was a magic moment that happened in my life after so long. I played with my friends and cracked jokes. We came back and I felt energetic more than ever. I could complete my duties in a lesser time than expected. Seeing my enthusiasm, my mom asked me, Lena, shall we plan out for the next sunset in advance so that you can spend more time with your friends? I was staring at her. Did she forget all the instructions she had given to me at the beginning of the academic year? No parties, no fun, focus only on your studies? My mom slowly came, hugged me and told, you have missed many sunsets. From now onwards, we will watch that beautiful scene together. Do not delay to enjoy the beautiful moments of your life. Living in the present is the key to staying happy and healthy. It helps you fight anxiety, cut down rumination, and keeps you grounded and connected to yourself and to whatever is around you. Being present and exerting our ability to be mindful not only makes us happier, it can also help us deal with pain more effectively, reduce our stress and fight depression, and improve our ability to cope with negative emotions like fear and anger. We should be aware of each and every situation and find our eternity in every moment. In this unprecedented life, let us make it a priority to live in the present moment, the precious present moment. Over to you.
Wow. Thank you, Lena, for sharing your beautiful moments with us. That was, again, simply an amazing display of talent where you painted such a beautiful picture. I was reminded of the sunset. You brought it, you had a visual impact on what you said. Reminds me of that famous poem, what is this life full of care? We have no time to stand and stare, no time to watch the trees, and it goes on like that. Thank you very much. A round of applause to you. Okay. So with that, yes, this marks the end of the 2 prepared speeches that we are having. The next item on the agenda is photo shoot. But before going into the photo shoot, let me just share something about the WMC Toastmasters Club, because the general evaluator otherwise will pick up saying, the president did not speak about the Toastmasters International and the Toastmaster of the Day did not speak about the club. So I'm going to speak about both right now. Toastmaster International, for the information of the guests, was started in 1924, and it is flourishing with millions of members who have graduated out of the Toastmasters University in flying colors spreading the baton, taking the baton of communication and leadership everywhere. That's Toastmasters International for you in a couple of words. And as Dr. Ralph C. Smedley said, we learn best in moments of enjoyment. And we are learning today while enjoying ourselves as well. Coming to WMC Toastmasters Club, as Abdul Rahim said, it was started in 2003, going strong. We may not follow the exact straight-jacketed rules and regulations of Toastmasters International, and that's what makes WMC different. We broke the rules to our convenience maybe, but for the benefit of the members. We had novel ideas in mind, like a short film festival, which we did it, a short play competition initially for Toastmasters, Masseria, which we had was an inter-club competition. So many wonderful ideas came out from the minds and brains of the Toastmasters here. Rekha Uttam, who directed a play written by Suresh Karnagaran. Faces, Faces. Many, many, many more creative ideas have come up over the past years. And today we are in 2021 with Ganapati Narayan, who is a mastermind in organizing programs. Rekha Uttam, whose dynamism you have already seen. And myself, we are the three people who have been here right from the beginning. Many joined en route, but this club keeps on growing stronger and stronger because of the vibrance of the members and the enthusiasm of each team which takes this club forward. Every team does its own job, hands over the reign of control to the next team, but this is a continuing journey. We believe in ourselves, we rediscover ourselves, we embrace the vibrance, and we move ahead with even greater enthusiasm. At the same time, we reinvent ourselves as well. That's a bird's eye view of the past so many years of WMC Toastmasters Club. Dear friends, you who are new in WMC Toastmasters, my message to you is, go ahead. This club has a lot to offer you. But while the club offers you a lot of things, give back to the club. Don't just finish 5 or 10 project speeches and walk out, because you have got a sleeping giant within you. Awaken it and empower the other members, bring in more people, and we believe in quality. Forget about winning prizes. And I always say, and I'm saying it again to DTM Abdul Rahim, don't go after DCP just like that. DCP will come its way if you plan yourself, planning, and at the same time participating in competitions, but at the same time looking at what the members want, giving them stages to practice, stages to perform. Even if we get only 3 out of 10, it doesn't matter, DCPs. And I always say there were only 2 times when WMC Toastmasters did not get its DCP. And though that the president at that time was very bad. And both the times, the president was a guy named Babu Ramachandran. And that was the 2 terms where we didn't get the DCP. But that's it. You see, there should always be a difference. We move ahead. We move forth to conquer frontiers and leave a mark, not just on the shores of Bahrain, but to be a mark in the Toastmasters world everywhere, among all the clubs. Over for the photo shoot, I mean. Yes? Is there a photo shoot right now?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes. I'd ask all the members to please switch on your videos. And a smile, please, in your face. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Once more. 1 second. 1, 2, 3. I think 2 pages. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please go ahead.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prabodha, for including the photo shoot also in the agenda, because I like that new idea. Okay, so that nobody forgets about capturing a group photo. We go into the next item on the agenda, which is impromptu speaking. But the best advantage of having meetings on Zoom is that if the table topic master asks you a question and you are unable to answer, you just move your mouth and say there is something wrong with the audio. Or you can switch off your camera and say, I think there is something wrong with my connectivity. So that's an escape route for those who don't know to speak anything about the topic. But
Thanks for providing the solution, doctor.
But I tell you, please don't do that, because this is a learning experience. To conduct the table topics session, we have here a relatively infant in the Toastmasters fraternity. But the infant, by a process of accelerated growth, developed to become a giant in the Toastmasters world, not just in the club, not just in the area, not just in the division, but in the district as well. It came to a point where his family thought that they will have to throw him out of the house, because that was his commitment after he joined WMC Toastmasters. And in one of his interactions, he told me that he was reluctant to join Toastmasters, but then thought, okay, let's see. And he created an amazing history in WMC by releasing 11 issues of the Eloquence last year. And not saying that this committee should do that, because it's tough. Don't go by what's past. You all can have your own way of bringing out the eloquence. But I know the tough time he went through. And recently I was at a club where they said that we got 5 awards, PR awards in the district. And I thought, wow, 5. That's amazing. And then I called the past VP PR and asked, how many awards did you manage to get? And he said, well, our club got 18 awards. I said, and I didn't know of that. But that's the simplicity of the table topic master of today, the past VP PR of the club, the ever dynamic, ever supportive, ever caring human being, Toastmaster Sukumar Swaminathan. It's over to you for the table topic session.
It was all sounding like a midnight summer's dream when I just was woken up by our charismatic, dynamic Toastmaster of the day. I was thinking I'm going to sit, relax, and enjoy this meeting until he gave such an introduction that now I have to chase my own shadow to actually live up to that expectation. Thank you very much for your kind words, DTM Dr. Babu, Toastmaster of the day. I'm humbled and at the club's service always. That is what makes us better as individuals when we participate, when we practice, and when we perform. What a beautiful theme for today. For the benefit of the guests, if I may take a little bit of time and explain table topics. Table topics, when I say table topics, it sounds oxymoronic, because in normal English, table, anything in the United States is postponing it. And in the rest of the world, when you table something, it is reconsideration. But true to Toastmasters world, table topics is a trademark, and the explanation of that is, like our Toastmaster of the day said, when we are invited to speak on a topic impromptu, which, by the way, is happening all around us all the time, be it we as parents, we face the kids, or kids facing the parents. The best example would be the spouse or the partner who throws up that $1 million question, or the boss in the meetings, or us to the boss when it comes to the appraisals. Table topics is found around us everywhere, yet it is something that all of us dread. But if we approached it in the Toastmasters way, then we can nail it every single time. And how can I vouch for that? Our lovely grammarian who whipped us and probably a couple of others of us over 3 months last year when we were practicing for table topics. The sessions were beautiful. And it does require some practice, and which is what we are going to do today. It's all about practice, practice, and practice. Yet, participate, practice, and perform. To take in that theme, there is a slight twist. Normally, we ask a topic and the speaker speaks for a minute, and then it turns green, and a minute and a half when the yellow turns up like our timer said. And at red, it is 2 minutes. Today, we're going to do something slightly different. To elevate it a bit, I would be challenging the speaker as they are attempting the topic. At 1 minute, I would say pause, and I would put in a word which has to be taken by the speaker and continue the speech. That is a slight game changer, but I think that everybody over here is definitely capable of adding some spice into their participation, some spice by showing this up and giving us that daring performance. Are we okay with that, Toastmaster of the day?
Good, good. Go ahead. WMC believes in innovative things. Let's try it out.
Great. So to speak on the first topic, I am going to call upon somebody who has always dreaded about table topics. Yes.
Can I interrupt?
Yes,
I would advise you to give the topic and then call the speaker.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. All right. Let me do that. So today I'll repeat the topic twice. The best white lies you said till date and why. The best white lies you said till date and why. And to comment on this topic, I would like to call upon somebody who has always dreaded table topics, and this is what he keeps saying informally to me, but our very own immediate past president, Toastmaster Yashodhan Abhyankar. And remember, at 1 minute, I'm going to say pause and give you a word. Over to you. You're on mute.
That's a technique.
As you know, every table topic speaker says, can you repeat the topic, please?
The best white lies you said till date and why.
Well, my dear table topic master, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Practice, practice, practice. Well, I just wanted to use the word of the day in my speech, so I just said it 3 times. Please make it a note. What about the lies? Well, throughout my life, from my childhood till today, I've kept on giving some different lies to my wife, to my mother, to my parents, to my friends, everybody. The best one is, of course, which I always give to my wife. I always tell her that I will buy you a surprise gift sometime. And till date, I have not given her that surprise gift. I'm scared of it, you know. Because what if I give her some gift and she doesn't like it?
Pause. Honesty.
Well, so honestly speaking, honestly speaking, I'm not gonna give her any gift at least till next 10 years because I just want to keep lying her saying that next time I'm definitely gonna buy you a gift and that will be a biggest surprise gift. Over to you.
Oh, that was beautiful. You had to adapt, you had to re-innovate and rejig your speech, but you still managed to carry on that bit of conversation with the same story set. So that was wonderful display of how life challenges us sometimes. Some people like me suck, but at the same time, you take it on the chin and you give back, which is outstanding. Life and its lessons. The next topic is, whom do you secretly envy and why? Whom do you secretly envy and why? And to speak on this topic, I'm going to call my very dear friend who put me into Toastmasters, Toastmaster Murli Udayakant. And Murli, you cannot hide. I'm going to come searching all the way and get that camera on. So you better don't use that technique on us. You're on mute.
Can I ask the question again, please? Sorry.
I think Dr. Babu got this so that he wanted to see if everyone is actually listening or not. Let's assume that there was something wrong with my connection over here. Right. The question is, whom do you secretly envy and why? Whom do you secretly envy and why? Remember the green and switch.
You know what? This is one of the very easy topic. And for me to start off, I could probably say that you, Sugu, you, the reason why I envy you is there are not just one, I can say plenty of it. One is that irrespective of whatever is the situation, you can actually stay very calm, very focused, and very relaxed. And that's one part of it. The second part of it is whenever there is a task given to you, and if you have to give it to others to perform as a team, and you want to put people in, you make it look very simple, easy, achievable, and you make that person actually do it. I have a big problem in terms of technology. I would say I'm worse than Dr. Babu. The thing is that I don't even make an effort to try, but you never give up on me. You keep pushing me, you keep making all kinds of things, asking me to do things, and then I try it, I do try. Some of it. But you're the man who actually makes me do a lot more things.
Why?
The other thing is that, jokes apart, but what I like about you, or what I envy about you, is that anything that you take up with a lot of commitment, and you make sure that you give it a best shot and see it through to the best possible way. And I think that definitely is commendable, and that is something that people should learn from you. And I think that is something that I envy about you, I admire about you, and I want to imbibe that at some point in time. Over to you.
I'm going to hide now. That was very, very kind of you again, Toastmaster Murli.
That was an easy question. So it was.
It is there in everybody. It's just that we have to awaken the sleeping demon. But you missed the cue, the challenge, the wife. The word was the wife.
In my past Toastmaster engagement, we were told that, irrespective of whether you know the topic, you don't know the topic, the challenge is to stand there and talk for at least 1.5 minutes. And I think I did that.
Absolutely.
I didn't hear you saying wife. I thought you said Wi-Fi.
Irrespective, he could have spoken on Wi-Fi, but then that was a great principle that he actually exhibited, and he said, it is not important that we overcome and excel the situation. It's about persisting and going through the situation sometimes, and that is a journey that will reach its destination. So one of the reasons why this whole thing came up as well is to see that it is not necessary that we need to imbibe every single challenge that comes in, but to actually take it on the chin and move on and persist is also a great quality, and that is something that we need to practice. The next topic that I would like to bring on is, when do you close your eyes, what do you see? When you close your eyes, what do you see? And to speak upon this topic, I would invite our guest to be Toastmaster, probably. Cheryl Dimri, if you can unmute yourself and reflect upon.
Fellow Toastmasters, thank you for the question. Well, whenever I close my eyes, I definitely see a lot of children around me. Reason being, I'm a kindergarten teacher. So children are always around me, hugging me, embracing me, ma'am, ma'am, ma'am. So whenever I close my eyes, I do see a lot of children loving me a lot and learning from me, practicing from me, the good practices, whatever I can teach them right from the budding age. So I always see I'm shaping a future. I'm shaping future citizens. I'm shaping global citizens. So that is what, whenever I close my eyes, I always feel that I'm a very important part of the society, and I'm giving beautiful shape to the future citizens, to the global citizens who will make our society a better place to live in. And I'm sure with my efforts, we will stop cribbing about so many negative things which we see all around it. So whenever I close my eyes, I see that there are so many children, they are loving me. The challenge.
Pause. Sleep if you haven't finished. That's
Okay, so if I'm a teacher, I will never ever get a perfect sleep, because in my dreams also, I will be doing lesson plans, activities for the day, how to deal with the parents, that challenge, the virtual platform. So if you are a teacher, you will never ever get a sound sleep. So, so that's what I wanted to say, that sleep is not meant for the teachers. So thank you for this opportunity. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
That was wonderful. I already see that you are a very experienced Toastmaster. I don't see you as a guest, actually, to say. And
thank you for the observation. Yes, I am. I'm a teacher, no? Every day I talk, impromptu.
Absolutely. That is so right.
Parents do come up, children do come up, which we are not prepared. They may ask any question. So we are quite prepared.
At best. And with all heart and all respect goes out to teachers who form the leaders of tomorrow, who nurture the seeds and who make them into trees. A lot of respect to the teaching fraternity. They can make or break futures, and they can make the leaders. They can build countries. They can enable people building countries. So it's such a wonderful and a noble profession. Thank you for reflecting on that. And like you rightly said, children are sometimes terrors, and you will see them in your dreams as well. My two are a perfect testament for that. The final topic to reflect today is When did you last test your inner strength? When did you last test your inner strength and why? And to reflect on this topic, may I kindly request Mr. Jacob, if he is hearing us. Mr. Jacob, are you with us?
You're referring to Jacob Samuel, who is a guest?
That is correct, sir.
Well, regarding my strength, it was last tested in the year 2003. And I lost my job as a senior lecturer at the Gulf Academy. Of course, unfortunately, I will not be able to shed more light on it because it can be too personal, but it might be at the same time very interesting. But I'm very sorry that I will not be able to shed more light on it. But I wish to just tell you, just share my thoughts. I have been working for 30 years as a teacher, and all my selection was never ever through an interview. Never ever. I've occupied 6 jobs, and all these 6 jobs, I was handpicked. I would never applied for a job. My first job was as a teacher at the Shanta Devi Shinde School in Meerut, which was then belonging to Mohan Rao Shinde, who was the Deputy Speaker of the Maharashtra Legislative Assembly. The reason he chose me was my language. When I first met him, my language impressed him, and he offered me a job as an English teacher, though my discipline was history. And all throughout that, even the latest job at the Ministry of Education, when they planned to do the tourism courses, they had picked me and brought me there to the institute. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Professor Jacob. And I did not simply have the heart to actually pause and change momentum, because you were speaking about how you have added value to all the fraternity out there in different countries. And I did not want to say pause and change.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And this exercise was just to have some fun, and at the same time, sometimes in life, drive a message that there will be situations where we are pushed off track. How we take that track and how we proceed can be very subjective, can be very individual, but the most important journey is to keep the journey going. The most important thing is to keep the journey going, participate, practice, perform, and that is something that we need to carry on for our lives. Having said that, back to you, Toastmaster today.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sukumar. Wonderfully executed. See, last evening when I spoke to Sukumar, he suggested this idea and had a little doubt, should he or should he not, to be or not to be. And I said, WMC Toastmasters is a club where you can experiment any way in which you want to. And he has pulled it off very well. Well done. And the best I liked was not interrupting Jacob when he was flowing through his speech. That was the correct time when you remain silent instead of pausing. Great. With that, we come to the end of the table topic session. A round of applause to Toastmaster Sukumar and all the participants. Before we go into the business session, you see, the theme is participate, practice, and perform. And we have our veteran member here, Toastmaster Ganapati Narayan, who has been with the club for many, many years, right from the beginning. Toastmaster Ganapati, I know no ExCom may like to listen to advice, but still, let's hear you say something to the club about the theme and share your thoughts.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, DTM Dr. Babu Ramachandran. I do believe that practice, practice, practice. So this year they have selected a wonderful theme: practice, participate, practice, and perform. When you participate early, you will get the courage to perform well, and you will come out very well. For that, you will prepare yourself, then only you will come out very well. I am a music student. I know the value of practice very well. When you practice yourself, when you switch on the study, and when you sing yourself, then only you will be able to sing in front of somebody without any flaws in the study. So I strongly believe that practice, practice, practice. The mantra is very important to everybody in their walk of life. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Dr. Babu Ramachandran.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ganapati. Rekha, I'm sure your list is overflowing. You chose the correct word, a simple word, but the ways in which it has been used. Hats off to you for choosing this word as the word of the day at the first meeting. The list must be endless. Great job.
May I please interrupt for a poll? Actually, I would like to go for a poll for the best speaker and best table topic commentator.
I have one suggestion. Do we really need a poll for the best speaker? Because it's a Gavalier and a Toastmaster. I leave it to the call of the president, whether that's needed or not, or how do we do it? Because it's entirely
since
different.
Gavalier, I think we may not need. I think so.
That's why. I think
then,
one Toastmaster as a speaker, that Toastmaster should be given a ribbon as the best speaker, and the Gavalier should be given another ribbon. That's what I feel.
Yeah, that's right.
If you want to go ahead with the table topics, Paul, it's left to you.
Okay. So please then avoid the best speaker. It is there already. So please avoid that. Only choose best table topic commentator. I'm launching the.
But will we be able to do it individually like that? Okay, fine. Unless we click on something.
I guess we have to click, otherwise it will not allow.
Yeah, it will not submit.
Yeah, you do it, but regardless, we will not take it into consideration. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, while the polls are on, I don't want to waste any time. See, in the past 3 days when I was busy with my advanced cardiac life support exercise, where the instructor was training us, we realized that when we deal with a patient for resuscitation, one person is at the body as the team leader, there is somebody on the defibrillator, somebody monitoring the things, another one for breathing and airway, and somebody to record the notes. And that's teamwork. And it was rightly said, the success of a resuscitation attempt depends on the excellent teamwork that is displayed by the members of the team. And this was hammered into our minds. As we participated in the exercises, we practiced on the dummies that were there, and we performed as a team. This teamwork should be the hallmark of the ExCom of WMC Toastmasters Club as well. Each member has his or her own role. And by just performing that role to perfection, the whole team will scale great heights. As with the resuscitation, where each member just looks after his duties, but at the same time having an overall connection with the other members of the team. This is something I want to instill in the minds of the ExCom as we go in for the business session to be ably handled by the president. The first ExCom meeting of the term of WMC Toastmasters for the year 2021-2022. Over to you, Toastmaster Abdul Rahim.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dr. Babu Ramachandran. Wonderful job that you're doing so far. Well, as a matter of fact, we are late, unfortunately. By 5:50, we should have given the control to the general evaluator. So let's make a quick business session. I was just discussing the other day with Rekha ji. She sent me a message which was very valid, actually. She said, I just want to read it. I feel so strongly about people's time, especially online. We must end on time as announced because we need to respect people's time, which I really, I'm sure all of you will agree with that. So when I analyzed after I speaking to her, there are a lot of factors why meetings go beyond the time. One of the key factors is meeting goes normally very well until the business session, and oftentimes, business session just goes out of control. So we will try our best to keep it as crisp and concise as possible. But of course, we have to discuss everything that is important in the business meeting, but without getting into discussions which may not be necessary or which may not be important, which can be discussed in ESCOM meetings or in WhatsApp group, right? Now, having said that, let us quickly ask our secretary, Toastmaster Nidhi, to read the minutes of installation ceremony, which was beautifully conducted by Yashodhan and team on 18th June. Over to you, Nidhi.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Minutes of new Executive Committee installation meeting held on 18 June 2021 at 6 p.m. on Zoom. The meeting was called to order by President Toastmaster Yashodhan Abhyankar at 6:10 p.m. Following a brief introductory speech and guest introductions, the President invited Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Murli Udaykant, to take control of the meeting. Toastmaster Murli then introduced the chief guest of the meeting, Mrs. Usha Ramesh, Vice President, Global Head of Brand Management and Corporate Communications, Al Baraka Bank. Mrs. Usha then delivered a highly informative keynote speech covering various aspects of brand management and communications, which was much appreciated by the House. Toastmaster Murli then introduced the electoral officer, Toastmaster Ganpati Narayanan, who proceeded to conduct the club elections to form the new executive committee. In the absence of voluntary nominations from the club members, the electoral officer confirmed the following members who were earlier nominated by the nomination committee as the office bearers of the WMC Toastmaster Club for the year 2021-22, with the secretary Toastmaster Pragati casting a symbolic vote in favor of each nominated officer. The office bearers were as follows: President Toastmaster Abdul Rahim, VP Education Toastmaster Ovin Krasta, Vice President Membership Toastmaster Punambalam Thirumalai, Vice President Public Relations Toastmaster Prabodha Sarangi, Secretary Toastmaster Nidhi Vadke, Treasurer Toastmaster Raghu Kumar, and Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Rajeshwari Alpesh Chauhan. The MC Toastmaster Murali then invited DTM Hadi Jasim, installation officer, to install the officers in their respective positions. All the officers were installed and the oaths were taken, following which the officers delivered a brief acceptation speech. Toastmaster Prabodha Sarangi, the incoming VPPR, then unveiled the emblem of the new term and also the theme, which is Participate, Practice, Perform. After a photo shoot and brief thank you note and word of congratulations to the new ExCom, President Yashodhan Abhyankar adjourned the meeting at 7:25 p.m. 25 p.m. Thank you, and over to you, President.
Thank you very much, Nidhi. Members, do we have any comments on the minutes? Okay, in the absence of comments, let us adopt the minutes by, can somebody propose? Toastmaster Ganapati proposing and Toastmaster Sukumar Swaminathan seconding. Nidhi, please note down. Nidhi, can you please report on the Surgeon at Arms role quickly?
As far as the Sergeant at Arms report is concerned, I'm very happy to be the Sergeant at Arms in the absence of Toastmaster Rajeshwari until she's on leave. So that's it. Thank you. And over.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I highly appreciate your diligence to perform as Sergeant at Arms in addition to your secretarial. Toastmaster Raghu Kumar, our treasurer.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening to fellow Toastmasters and guests. As far as treasurer concerned, I started practicing my treasurer role by taking handover from my previous treasurer, TM Joe, and he handed over the balance amount to me, and it is in my custody. And I will be contacting all the members during next our TMI due, which will be in the September. I will contact all the members and I will request for the due before due date. And also we will be collecting the fee, club due fee, what we decided during the recent AGM meeting, 1 BD per month. We will also request for that along with TMI dues. If you have any questions, you can contact me or any ExCom member. Thank you.
Thank you, Raghu. Thank you. Nidhi, do you have any comment as secretary?
No, sir.
Okay. Toastmaster Prabodha, over to you, sir. PPPR.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. At VPPR, we decided to go for 4 eloquence in this year, once in a quarter. So it will be like the next eloquence will come up on, this is July, September, the second meeting of September, like that. We want to over all these 4 eloquence in entire year, over the year. I would request all our members to please start writing your articles and send it to us as soon as possible. We will start working on it. And second, the regular birthday and members day flyers will continue. Second, the publishing in social media, it will be same as before. Our previous PPPR Toastmaster Sukumar done in 3 platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. These 3 will continue. I'll go with the same social media platform. Thank you, and over to you, President.
Thank you, Prabodha, for your excellent work so far. Beautifully done. All the flyers, outstanding job. Thank you so much. Ponamaramji, over to you, sir.
Yes.
Membership.
Thank you, President. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Once again, it's my immense pleasure to be taking up this ExCom role just before completing 10 years with WMC. Starting on a lighter note, in my office, when we give our operations plan, the management often says, it's same as last year. Then we reply, of course, it's the same responsibility. So of course, it's going to be the same. So on a similar line, my main focus as the VP membership will be to carry out all the responsibilities associated with the role without any fail. Mostly, I'll be focusing on member retention. We have 31 members. Our focus will be on adding 1 member a month, bringing in guests and converting them to members. By making use of the good relationship that I have made with the WMC members over years, and by supporting to make their pathways, journeys more smooth. So this also gives me one more reason to dive into pathways. So along with them, I'll also dive into pathways. Another thing is, one of the most important branding guidelines is it's just not about colors, it's about how uniformly we make our members and guests feel comfortable throughout all over the Toastmastering family. So just want to say something. Once I told a friend of mine that WMC is my second family, and he said, he already has a family and he is looking for a place to compete and improve. So that actually knocked me actually. So the focus will be on providing a nourishing yet competitive environment to grow and make it a rewarding experience for guests and members alike. Thank you, and over to you, President.
Thank you, Ponnambalam. Thank you so much. Mr. Owen, education.
Yeah. Mr. President, thank you. Fellow Toastmasters and guests. My plan is, I'm having a couple of pointers to go ahead. Initially, I come up with an idea of having Google Forms where I can ask all the members to give their plan for a quarter. Planning is very important. It's of paramount importance, we all know. And so that to get all the role players on board, so I thought about that, and I've spoken to our ExCom and we went ahead with that. And thanks for the good response. we received, out of 30 members, we received 20 responses. That's quite good. I encourage all others also to send their responses, and I'm here to help. And as it says, practice makes perfect. So why can't you give get in yourself to practice? There's a platform given to you, all of you, and I encourage all of you to come up and take up the roles. Would like to see more and more speakers coming up, and also all other participants, come up with any kind of roles and encourage themselves and others as well. And secondly, I'm planning to have, announce the TMOD and the GE of the next meeting during this meeting itself. So it's going to be a battle royal between mentee and mentor. Next meeting, DTM Manoj Pandey will be the TMOD, and TM Ganapati will be the general evaluator. Okay, so that's it from my side, and I encourage everyone to come up and take up the roles. Back to you, President.
Thank you so much, Owen. Thank you so much. Appreciate. Well, before I open the floor for members, I have a key announcement to make, right? So I would like to invite a genial, generous gentleman, a wonderful friend of mine, a great well-wisher, an inspirational leader, and one with whom I always interacted so beautifully, and a captain of the last ship, that ship which reached dizzying heights last year. All credit to him. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our immediate past president, Toastmaster Yashodhan Abhyankar, to make a key, brief announcement. Over to you, Toastmaster Yashodhan.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Abdul Rahim. When you started saying, I was thinking that you are talking about somebody else. But then it turned out to be me. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, at the fag end of last year, we got many mails and phone calls from our members, and they said like, are you missing out one big award for the year? And then we realized, yes, we missed out one award last year. So we are going to make that correction, and we're going to give that award in the very first meeting of this year. When I was VPPR, I somehow managed 2 eloquences. But this person, he managed 11 editions of eloquence. He grabbed 18 VPPR awards, including Best PR Award. He represented WMC at area and division level in the contest. He was a member of District 20 Realignment Committee. So you see like from club level to district level, he was everywhere. After he was included in the committee, there was a message on our WhatsApp group which said, where there is Toastmasters, there you see Sukumar. Club, area, division, district, TMI headquarters, Suku is there. Congratulations, future TMI international president.
God, please. I mean,
so dear friends, please join your hands together in awarding our dear Sukumar the prestigious Toastmaster of the Year trophy.
So normally, I didn't know what was blushing until, this meeting made me blush so much. But in interest of time, thank you. I don't deserve so much. It is a group effort, and there is some person always who has to just take all and represent. And that is all what I have done. And thank you, WMC, for the opportunity. Thank you, everybody.
As I said this, and I was very honest in saying that that I received a lot of phone calls from our members, and it's a sort of, you say, public demand or members' choice that you have been awarded this particular trophy as Toastmaster of the Year.
I am humbled. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. In fact, if this would have been an actual live physical meeting, I could have asked Dr. Babu to hand over this memento and trophy to you. But then, unfortunately, we are just meeting online. So just on behalf of him and on behalf of all members, I am handing over it to you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sukumar, for all the wonderful job you have done. And President Toastmaster Abdul Rahim, over to you.
Thank you. In fact, when I announced this in my XCOM group, all 6 officers came and said he deserves it more than anybody else. So that was great. Anyway, congratulations, Sukumar. You don't deserve it. You deserve it more than deserving. Really. Well, there are so many clubs came to him offering free membership. You come to us. I will give you membership.
Mr. President, that is what I want to tell you, that please hold him very closely and boldly. Otherwise, somebody snatch him. Okay, please.
He's there for us. His pride, loyalty is with the WMC Toastmasters.
No,
well,
the club is providing him a jet
now,
security.
Yeah, now the forum is open to members in case of any comment before we close the business session. So if no comments, no news is good news. So, okay, right. So generally evaluated DTM Hisham, in case if you are late also, you don't need to rush actually. So we need your valuable feedback, even if it's we are delayed by 5-10 minutes, we need your valuable feedback. You don't need to rush. Thank you very much. And DTM Dr. Babu Ramachandran, what a wonderful way you are conducting the meeting. I hand over back to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Abdul Rahim, for the excellent teamwork of the club in its first ever XCOM. Well done. And now it's time to listen to the good, the better, and the best. Well, usually when we have an assignee, it's up to the Toastmaster of the day to call the person and find out how he or she should be introduced. But in this case, I'm sure the G must be wondering why he did not receive a call. He did not receive a call because I know him very well, and I didn't need him to tell me how to introduce him. So this person is a teacher, a very close friend of mine, very simple, humble guy who is a member of Sri Lankan Club Symposium Toastmasters, the Bahrain DTM Club, and I think he's there in one more club if I'm not mistaken. He's a winner of the winner of 2 awards at the district level for table topics and international speech, 2nd and 3rd. So he's a very prolific speaker who has got great ambitions in going ahead on his path to achieving excellence in communication. And for him, his mantra, I am sure, is participate, practice, and perform. Excellent individual with a wonderful family. Please join your hands together to welcome DTM Hisham Jeffrey as the General Evaluator of the day. Hisham, floor is all yours.
Thank you very much, dear Dr. Babu Ramachandran. Little known stories, Dr. Babu has been my general physician for over 11 years now. So truly he looks after my mind, body, and soul. So thank you so much. It is such a pleasure to be sharing the same agenda with you.
But don't worry, he rarely falls ill. So don't think I'm a bad doctor and he is a bad patient. No, over to you again.
That's very true. Coming back to WMC is always like coming to have tea with close friends and family and colleagues. And I look forward to the day that we can do that same thing back at the pleasant environment of Crown Plaza too. In the interest of time, let's go on with the general evaluation. Let's ask for our first role player, and that is the timer. Toastmaster Kiran, if you are ready, shall we hear the timing performance of the prepared speeches and the table topics? Over to you.
Thank you, DTM Hisham. The time taken by the speakers are like Toastmaster Anil took 6 minutes 58 seconds. Gavalier Lena took 6 minutes 9 seconds. And for the table topic, Toastmaster Yash took 1 minute 36 seconds. Toastmaster Murali took 1 minute 53 seconds. Guest Shirley took 1 minute 40 seconds, and guest Jacob took 2 minutes and 6 seconds. So in a nutshell, everyone is qualified for the competition. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kiran. Big round of applause for our timer. Time is worth gold, and it's very nice to see that all speakers are qualified. It's becoming a rarity these days, especially in the virtual environment. Our founding father said that mentoring and evaluation are the twin spark plugs that will galvanize members in any club. So one of those spark plugs is now going to be performed now, which is the evaluation of individual speeches. In order to evaluate that great, wonderful speech delivered by Toastmaster Anil Kumar, it's my great pleasure to welcome Toastmaster Ponnambalam as evaluator number 1. Toastmaster Ponnambalam, the screen is yours, sir.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm audible. Let me pin the timer. Just give me a second. Football or public speaking? The secret to success is participate, practice, and perform. General evaluator, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and my speaker. Today's stunning performance of my speaker, Toastmaster Anil Kumar, is the result of consistent participation and intense practice. And a good performance becomes a meaningful experience when it is relatable to the audience. And Toastmaster Anil very effectively used the metaphor football to deliver an inspiring speech. What a relevant and unique way to grab the attention of the audience. It was effective because of 2 reasons. How he met the criteria of the project and the techniques he used to inspire the audience. He had a short and curiosity arousing title, Scissor Cut, which made me curious, and I'm sure even if I was not evaluating his speech, I would have curious enough to listen to his complete speech. He spoke with utmost passion, with appropriate pace, so that we could all understand that each word he spoke, a most important quality that is required, especially in a Zoom environment where there is a lag due to connectivity. He did not fail to exhibit his ability to bring in voice modulation, especially when he told us when he fell down in the field. He was very comfortable in front of the audience and especially in front of the camera. Most importantly, he had a well-constructed content that helped to engage the audience. It's very difficult to engage the audience and respond accordingly in Zoom, but he used questioning techniques like how many players are there in a football in an effective manner to engage the audience. And what I like most in the speech is the technique he used to inspire us to convey his message. His message, a bend on the road is not the end of the road. He ensured that he is there in the inspiring story throughout. And he told us, make it very effectively. He very vividly explained the settings where the whole story was happening, whether it is in Kerala or in Muscat. I did not have any difficulty in traveling with him from Kerala to Muscat and I felt I was with him when he was injured and when he recovered the injury and won the game for his club. To make the inspirational story more effectively, I would suggest two things. Though he conveyed his passion for football so we could understand his pain, if he could take a few more seconds to explain what he took to recover from the injury, then it would have been more effective. Overall, a wonderful speech. All the best to you, Toastmaster Anand.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ponnambalam.
Over to you, Janil.
Thank you for that uplifting evaluation. In order to evaluate the second speech delivered by Gavalia Lina Mentor, it's our great pleasure to welcome Toastmaster Jeffrey Abraham. Toastmaster Jeffrey, the screen is yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and once again, esteemed guests. Gavalia Lina, she came onto the stage in a group where there's plenty of Toastmasters and distinguished Toastmasters. She didn't come fearful. She didn't come with any sort of anxiety, but she actually came with a ray of sunshine. And that was basically what her whole speech was about, was just go out and enjoy a bit of sunshine. And I think that was a message that we all need to hear today, especially in these very tumultuous and uncertain times. So congratulations, Gavalia Lina, because you are truly persuaded us in that respect. Now, as I was evaluating you, I just realized that you're actually a champion evaluator. So I am actually honored to be evaluating a champion evaluator. You came onto the stage, and at times I often wonder that you were perhaps best placed, not on a Toastmaster stage, but as a stage actor in one of Shakespeare's plays, because you had a lot of poise, a lot of acting, a lot of movement, and your voice modulation was superb. And I must say, even at the international level of Toastmasters, there are all these same qualities and techniques being used. So congratulations for all that skills that you have. And clearly, you came to do one thing, and that is to tell people that take care, take notice of the precious present moment. And you communicated your ideas with conviction, and you spoke firmly and confidently. However, just like any speech, there is always areas for improvement. The purpose of the speech was to persuade and to tell the audience what you took as action to persuade us. And that was you did in your voice, you did in your actions, you did in your words. However, I felt there were a few things missing. Because let's be honest here, this topic is a topic that has literally been beaten to death, as in live in the moment, live in the moment. Vis-a-vis the project that was to persuade, you could have taken something where you actually changed your life, where you had a roadblock, and then you took action and you came on stage and you spoke. And let me tell you, Gavalia Lina, you have the capacity to persuade. Just a bit improvement on the topic and subject material, I think could have been improved. Secondly, as far as the eye level was concerned, I noticed that you were looking into the screen. Perhaps that is something that, for example, look at me. I actually took my laptop, I put it on my chair, and I'm looking at everybody. Nobody knows that I'm looking at the camera or everyone else. So that is a technique that you should try to adopt, because it looked like you were looking down. And finally, do not drawl out your words. You took only 6 minutes and 9 seconds, while you had a full 7 minutes and 30 seconds, literally a minute and a half remaining. Yet you were literally drawling out your words. Don't drawl out your words, because it can sort of indicate to people that you didn't come fully prepared. That being said, you are a true international speaker, and you can defeat most of the Toastmasters who are here. So congratulations, and I wish you all in your final CC10 project. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Jeffrey Abraham. It's always a pleasure listening to you and your ever-pleasant voice. Let's hear the timing performance of the two evaluators. Mr. Timer, Toastmaster Kiran, if you would share with us the timing performance of the two evaluators, the screen is yours.
Thank you, DTM Isham, once again. Good evening, everyone. Time taken by TM Punnambalam is 3 minutes 34 seconds, and by TM Jeff is 3 minutes 33 seconds. Both of them are overshoot by a slight margin.
So that's why the moderator did not include best evaluator in the voting. May I propose that in the interest of meeting number 1, maybe excuse the 3 or 4 seconds and include them to be voted in?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
it makes sense.
included.
Yes, yes.
I included, yeah.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Better
So
to do.
if the moderator would share the voting link, I will go on with the general comments.
Yeah.
So my laptop says it's 6:22 p.m. I'm waiting for Dr. Babu to say back to you, Mr. President.
No, you're going on. Go on.
We can remove Dr. Babu from the meeting, no problem.
So somebody once told me DTM means don't time me.
Yeah, the next
go
poll,
on.
yeah, I think the next poll will be launched after the grammarian and our counter report.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. With regard to the general comments I received, I want to structure this general evaluation as before and during the meeting. And in the days before the meeting, I received the invitation to be general evaluator on the 21st of June, which means there was ample and enough time, and that shows adequate preparation, practice, and of course, practice does not make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. Great start to the year. The agenda, the link, and the flyer was shared by the 4th of July, which is ample time, which is 5 days ahead of time, which is about 25% of 2 weeks. Wonderfully well done. I did something more, and in this era of virtual meetings, it's important to have a virtual presence and a virtual footprint. So on the Instagram of WMC, the first post went out on the 4th of July, 13 likes, but 0 comments. And on the 7th of July, there was a follow-up post, 10 likes and 1 comment. And on Facebook, the first flyer went out on the 5th of July, 6 likes, but no comments. On the 7th of July, there was another flyer, 5 likes and no comments. So in my recommendations, I would like to make one recommendation. Do create the hype on social media as well. Like, comment, share, so that the word goes on and your vice president membership's life becomes that much more easy. Everyone wants to join a vibrant club, leverage on the social media presence. I logged into the meeting at 3:47 and I was very happy to see 4 members in the forum, the president and the vice president membership. Warm welcome. By 3:58, we had 15 members. By 3:59, 18 members. By 4 p.m., when the Sergeant at Arms opened the meeting, we had 24 members. And by 4:06, we reached a high of 30 members. Around 4:27, we had 35 members. And I'm very happy to say that 18 out of 35 members had their camera on for majority of the meeting, which was 51% of the time. So I leave that up to you to see whether that is acceptable to you. 51% is quite good considering that it's a Friday afternoon and many people are busy as well. Well done. Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Nidhi opened the meeting in a very warm and welcoming manner. It was professional and charming and very well done. Big round of applause for the Sergeant at Arms. I'm sure this is the first meeting and her first time doing this as well. The president took over and he is, as always, a master of oratory, a consummate host. And this opening welcoming address was humorous, full of quotations, stories, and uplifting. Mr. President, if this is your first attempt, I can't wait to see what your 12th attempt on June 2022 is going to look like. Big hand for the president. Well done, Toastmaster Abdul Rahim. I've seen and heard and met DTM Rekha many times. And I'm happy to say that in the 7 years that I have been a Toastmaster, I have never seen a grammarian introduce the role in this way. The reason I say that is because the grammarian's report was a project speech on its own. It was inspirational, it was motivational, it was specific, and it was object-oriented. There were words such as imbibe, grouse, a quote from Aristotle, and 2 very specific recommendations were made, which was the subject-verb agreement and to keep the tenses consistent. Specificity builds credibility, And this grammarian will now tell us how we have performed. And the word of the day was a very easy one, practice as well. The introduction of the guests, always a sensitive item. It was intimate and pleasant. Each guest was made to feel very welcome and very personalized, which was very, very aptly performed. The district director's address, as always with DTM Alifia, it was a combination of the quantitative and the qualitative. She combined the role of the district director, the PQD, the CGD, and also public relations manager, giving us aspirations as to what we should aspire in the next 11 months and 21 days that is left in the Toastmasters calendar. And that was very uplifting as well. The presidential address focused on something that I have always believed in, and that is, if you can be the best version of you, who can beat you but you? The one word that he spoke about was be unique, because if you can be yourself and the best version of yourself, then nobody else will be able to beat you. He had personal stories. It was an inspiring and uplifting, emotionally appealing presidential address filled with anecdotes, messages, humor, vivid wording, and it was a thought-provoking presidential address. Well done, sir. Wonderful way to start off the year. The Toastmaster of the day. The introduction of the Toastmaster of the day had three wonderful things. And it was very vivid because it took me to a place where I was trying to visualize a younger Dr. Babu with a passport in one pocket and tickets in the other pocket, an MBBS in his hand, and planning to stay just for 2 years. I cannot fathom the amount of loss the world would have had he gone back in 2 years' time. It is simply unimaginable. I think it would be COVID multiplied by 10. The mental, physical, moral, spiritual support that we have received from this public servant is truly astounding. Dr. Babu took over the meeting and we got a first-hand experience, a best practice example of a doctor's bedside manner. I don't think we see this anymore in the modern medical fraternity. It is something that I read in the stories that are written by Enid Blyton. This doctor's bedside manner, which we were fortunate to witness in the full-fledged performance of a Toastmaster of the day. Humorous beginning, intimate and personal, stories that we have never heard, anecdotes that we will never forget, and constant, consistent humor, and always the tone was uplifting. It was objective oriented. The objective was to finish by 6:30 and a minimum participation of 35. And I always learn something with every interaction with Dr. Babu. And today I learned these two quotes: fools seldom differ and genius always agrees. What we learn in Toastmasters should not be confined to Toastmasters. Always, and if we live by these two principles, obviously it's going to be a lot of change as well. The counter Toastmaster Manoj, he mentioned, he always adds some little bit of cardamom, a little bit of spice, a little bit of jaggery to all of his roles. And today he introduced the counter role in this way: I will monitor inappropriate words used as a space filler. Effectively, it's like saying it is an ugly sofa in your beautiful living room. Wonderfully well done, so I will always remember that. It was a complete and comprehensive introduction. And then this quote: there is no glory in practice, but without practice, there is no glory. Wow, amazing. So you stole a little bit of thunder from the grammarian. I hope that you will give her some reward in the meanwhile as well. The timer Toastmaster Kiran, clear introduction and explanation, perfect selection of the timer's background. The reason why I say that is there is another traffic light sort of timer's background. Looks nice, but it does not help the speaker. Perfect selection of the timing background, good demonstration of the lights, and he also instructed the speakers to pin the timer screen, which is a very valuable piece of instruction. Well done, Toastmaster Kiran. Going on to Evaluator 1, Toastmaster Pannambalan clearly mentioned the path and the level, the objectives of the speech. He exuded confidence, and he mentioned something very important, which was the speaker's name. He did not say my speaker. He did not say speaker number 1. He did not say the speaker. He said Toastmaster Anil Kumar. One of the best things that go through our ears is our name. And as a speaker, when you hear your name, it says, yes, now it's showtime. Let me get my game face on and go face the music. So wonderfully well done. His evaluation was calm and cool, concise and comprehensive, epitomizing the excellence that we have come to know as WMC Toastmasters. The speech from Toastmaster Anil Kumar. This is something that you should think about when you come to level 5 and you have to develop your keynote. And once you finish that, when you are writing an article for WMC's magazine, and once you finish that, when you are delivering your TEDx speech, which I'm sure will be a YouTube sensation. Has the seeds of a wonderful, mighty tree, and someone out there or many people out there have to hear your message. Caesar Cut was a great selection of topic, wonderful opening statement, well written and rehearsed. It was clearly evident that you had put your heart and effort into it. You used wonderful, vivid words. You spoke about a great triad of food, music, and football. And this quote again, a bend on the road is not the end of the road. I don't know whether it is an original quote, but I can say I have not heard it before, but I will remember it for a long period of time. Just one recommendation. If you do ask an audience question, do allow the audience the chance to respond. You did say, if possible, unmute and answer, but you did go on immediately. So think very carefully with an audience question. If you really want it, then allow, because I did see someone did unmute. So that is something to add to the speech. Speaker, evaluator number 2, Toastmaster Jeffrey Abraham, clear explanation of the objectives, clear explanation of why this is CC9 in the time of pathways. Because in a guest's mind, it could be, why are we talking about CC9? He took that doubt away, powerful delivery, in-depth analysis of the speaker's speech, and helpful recommendations. Remember, in our Toastmasters oath that we take, when we get inducted, it always says, I promise to give helpful evaluations to members. And this was epitomized by this evaluation. He clearly mentioned whether the objective was achieved. He mentioned that please lift your camera so that your eye contact is better. And then he said you had 1.5 minutes left. You had 1.5 minutes left. So in 1.5 minutes, a speech can change the world. Wonderfully done, Toastmaster Jeffrey Abraham. Gavalia Lena, mentor. I don't know what your mentality would have been when you received this last minute invitation, but to come up and deliver that speech on this day to this audience, hats off, big round of applause. Great opportunities seldom come, but grabbing those great opportunities is seldom done. So you grabbed that opportunity, and I really hope that you got the benefit that you are looking for it. A beautiful moment, simple and thought-provoking title. Powerful and clear voice from such a small package, such a powerful voice, well utilized. Vocal variety and the clarity was excellent. You were confident and your movements were very smooth. You mentioned a personal anecdote, and my personal favorite is you had an engaging smile right throughout the entire speech. You left us with this message, living in the present is the key to be happy. Thank you very much. That ended the education or the speech session, and the transition to the next session was managed really, really well. Dr. Babu mentioned that, mentioned the TMI, mentioned Dr. Ralph C. Smedley, mentioned these colorful stories about the storied history of WMC's origin, its objectives, its identity, and its brand as an established club in a plethora of other established clubs in District 20. And it was humble and humorous as always. Wonderfully well done. The photo shoot was a welcome addition. We always forget the group photo. Professionally executed. Well done, Toastmaster Prabodha. That then brings me to the table topic session. Table topics is something that has to be carefully handled because many people try to run away from it. But this addition of a twist and this warm and engaging manner in which the table topics master, Toastmaster Sukumar, took over, made it inspiring, made it engaging, made it something that, oh, I want to be part of this as well. So that was very well done, consummately well done. I like the twist of inserting a word at the 1 minute. And it was also apt to note that the TMOD interjected to mention, please read the topic before you select the speaker. And that's because if you select the speaker, all of us relax. But when you read the topic, And then you pick the speaker. It's not one person who prepares for the table topic. It's the entire 35 in the audience. So that was very well done. Table topics commentator 1, Toastmaster Yashodhan. Wonderful pause before you started. You don't have to rush through it. Well done. You use the pause well. Humorous start by mentioning the word of the day 3 times. You use the time really well. You smile right throughout, and you mentioned the personal story with the surprise gift. You did also handle the word honesty, the twist very, very well. Toastmaster Murali, smiling, engaging, humorous right throughout, clearly presented, and you connected your topic to someone in the meeting who was the table topics master himself. That was a nice thing that makes this meeting, that connection, very unique and intimate to this particular meeting alone. Toastmaster Cheryl, animated, clear, infectious laughter, and simple connecting message that was so well done. And I'm sure that your students in your classroom thoroughly enjoy your presence as well. Table topics commentator 4, Mr. Jacob, we are the poorer for losing your 3 decades of presence in Bahrain as well. I do wish that once you go home, you will reach out to a Toastmasters club so that they may benefit from your experience and you may benefit from this movement as well. You were specific. You said the point for this topic to me came in 2003. You mentioned a relatable story that in this pandemic environment, either we have been exposed to it, or we know someone who has been exposed to losing their job. You spiced it up with suspense. I will tell you, but I can't tell you. So now that creates the curiosity that I really want to know, officially or unofficially. You mentioned 30 years as a teacher, establishing your credibility as an authority on what you're going to speak about. And you mentioned a fact that you had never had an interview in your life, but you have worked for 30 years and 6 jobs. Now there is a story waiting to be told. And I hope that somewhere down the line, we will hear that particular story as well. That ended the table topic session. The business session was professionally handled. The minutes were well read. The officers' reports were well presented. They were specific. And what I really like about it is that the officers' reports were ambitious. 4 newsletters, a member to be added every single month. These are not goals any other club is thinking about. WMC is thinking about it. They are implementing it. And I look forward to coming next time and seeing how well and wonderfully, and definitely you would have achieved it as well. Just to make a few recommendations, leverage on the social media activity. Do share your posters and flyers on the Toastmasters International Facebook group, the Toastmasters with virtual club membership group, the District 20 group and the Region 11 group, because you never know how long the pandemic will last, and you never know who is looking for a club to attend on a Friday afternoon. So in every cloud, there's a silver lining. Virtual meetings are the silver lining of this pandemic. So we never know who we can gather to attend a meeting. And it would also be really nice to have a virtual background designed either for the meeting or for the club so that the group photos look consistent and they would look rather outstanding. My final recommendation is to think about balancing oratory and punctuality. It is always difficult. And as I told you, once you hit DTM, it also means don't time me. I look forward to the month of July because it is the time that I always try and visit WMC Toastmasters. Thank you for having me. It has been such a pleasure. I look forward to next meeting you and shaking your hands and saying, friends, well met. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day.
Sorry,
Sir,
didn't call
grammarian
the
report.
I do apologize. Let us now hear from the grammarian, distinguished Toastmaster Rekha. The floor is yours.
Are we having the accountants report and then, or you want to finish?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure. Let me call upon the accountant. Distinguished Toastmaster Manoj Pandey, the floor is now yours to deliver the accountant's report. DTM Manoj.
Thank you. But I am very sad with today's performance, and I will share the same sadness to all of you. Just to follow after the sadness is the joyous news that excellent speakers. I actually started to count on Dr. Babu, but then, Nobody else than Dr. Babu has 2 R's. I don't know why all technical glitches, all AHA counters, or AHA counters, all are now having a benchmark of a comparison that if I am more than Dr. Babu, technically sound, and if you are not technically sound, it is only compared to with Dr. Babu, no one else. So on that note, it was a wonderful speech. We were mesmerized, excellent speakers, and I could hardly note any error, and my net is as blank as that. So as a fisherman, I could not fish any on one of you. I am returning home very sad with nothing in my net. So the joy is all yours, nothing mine. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Yeah,
what a wonderful counters report. It is like an audit report where unqualified means good. So thank you very much, DTM Manoj. It's good to see you again. I do remember the meeting we had, joint meeting in the coffee shop. Let me now hand over the floor to the grammarian, DTM Rekha. DTM Rekha, the floor is yours.
Good evening, General and all. Yes. So today we had an appearance, but were hovering around me. That's my daughter's cats, Mr. Miyagi and Miss Lola Kuti. They both were so interested when the language flowed, and they were keen. Miss Lola even indicated that she would like to join Toastmasters. The one thing that put them off was people just using the word practice, 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 just to notch up the numbers, and they both disappeared from the scene. They said, this is disgusting. Why would people even want to do this? Just not use the word in a relevant way. They both ran off to their room. And when the speakers were speaking, they came and slowly peeped in to see what is the drama happening. And then they saw that there were like some problems with the speech. Like Anil said, good evening, Toastmasters, and welcome guests. And Mr. Miyagi said, what does that even mean? What is welcome guests? So if you're greeting somebody, you just need to say, good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests. Not welcome guests, and Mr. Miyagi just walked off in a huff. Anil said, the football matches starts in November and ends till May. Miss Lola Kuti said, meow, what is till May? And she said, oh, I do not want to hear this anymore. When you look at the quote, it is not bent on the road, but it is, like Jeffrey said, bend on the road. Lena, I would say it is admirable, not admirable. Enthusiasm, not enthusiasm. And then both of them came and said, is this English being spoken here or not? And I said, guys, you can't be so harsh on people. They are all struggling. And then came Yashodan with his 3 practices, and then they just ran off. That was the end of their appearance over here. They said, we do not believe in numbers. We believe in value. So there we go. And then Ponnambalam comes in and he says, without any fail. What does that mean? Without fail, that's what you would say. And I would have curious. I would have been curious, Ponnambalam, and not I would have curious. So you're turning a noun into a verb or a verb into a noun. What is it that you want to do? Overall, what is it that we need to do? We need to make our sentences shorter so that we don't fumble upon the verbs and the conjunctives which we need to add the sentences together. So Ms. Lola said, it's 6:30. What are they doing still here? I want my house back. And she kept on going round and round saying, meow, when is this going to end? And I said, Baba, patience. I have just arrived. Give me a little bit of time. And they're still hovering around me saying, are you going to end now, or are you also going to talk on like the rest of them? So with that, I hand over control back to you, Jeffrey.
Thank you very much, DTM Rekha. Again, you began in a way that I have never seen. You ended in a way that I will never forget. A grammarian's report woven into two unforgettable characters and delivered in the manner of a story. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to hear you as well. I see Toastmaster Yashodhan left. Yes, sir.
Just want to ask one question to DTM Rekha. Can I take some tuitions from those two cats?
You can. I wish I could show you. They have just, 8:30, they have disappeared for their dinner. So, 6:30. So that's why they are not here. Otherwise, I would have shown you.
They must surely have English heritage.
Okay. Without asking, I'm just launching
Thank
the
you,
poll.
DTM Rekha. With that, let me hand over control back to our Toastmaster of the day.
Yeah,
Dr.
I'm
Babu.
just launching the poll. Please
Thank you.
engage.
Yes, sure thing.
Continue the poll. Rekha, I couldn't live up to the total expectation of 6:30, but I have tried my best. And that's the beginning. I've really, really tried. And yeah, that's it.
This time, the blame was not yours. So
No,
I forgive you.
Yeah.
I was quite sure I could have 2,000 BD if I have betted. I was quite sure.
I have
I
wasted
thought that it was just a beginning. Yeah.
Yes.
And Dr. Babu should be get.
So, DTM Hisham, excellent evaluation in a very crisp, concise way. You had your notes, you had everything that you wanted to say, you said it. And whatever you said is definitely a learning curve for WMC Toastmasters. All points are very well taken. As always, you have created an impact. Thank you very much for being here on this Friday evening and taking up the role, patiently listening to everything. And even, you see, you are a mathematician because everything you mentioned in percentages as well. 51% of that, 31% of this, 21% of this. Wow, that's amazing. Yes. So I would say I might have used 33% of the time today of the 2 hours which were here. Hisham might have used 10% or 12%. The business session took 14%. Rekha took just 5% of the time. So with that, it has been wonderful being the Toastmaster of the day for the first meeting in July of the new term of Abdul Rahim and company. Excellent start. My only advice as I hand over control back to the president is, Mr. President, you have set a benchmark today, carrying on the legacy left by Yashodhan. I would like the same passion to continue in July 2022. And that's not an easy task. Together as a team, you will be able to achieve all your goals, to empower the members and reach out to all of them with the same connectivity that you had today. I tried my best to call all members, but I just couldn't call everyone. However, thank you very much for, let's say, accepting my request to be here at least for a short time. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. President.
A big hand for Dr. Babu Ramachandran, being the PMOD for our opening meeting of the term, conducting it so professionally, beautifully, and wonderfully. And Hisham, what can I say about you? Well, if Sukumar had asked me a question in the table topics, whom do you secretly envy? Hisham Jeffrey would have been my answer. Well, this is amazing. Well, that's why I called you on June 21st. This is why I called you. Each and every member were as if they wanted more years to listen. Not 2 years were not enough, actually. Well done. Big hand for Toastmaster Hisham. Well, the polls are going on. Prabodha is going to release the polls very soon. So can we get any feedback from the guests quickly? 15, 30 seconds feedback. Do we have any guests? Hisham, you can just briefly, before we go to another guest.
Yes, definitely. Many people say that they stand for innovation, but WMC is one of the few clubs that actually practice that. and it is innovation with a reason, and it is innovation with a purpose. So from the table topics to the grammarians report to the speakers themselves and the evaluators, I've thoroughly enjoyed that culture which I have seen for the last 7 years. You are outstanding and you stand out, but it is with a purpose, it's with a passion, and there is always such growth and such learning that I get every time I come to WMC. Thank you so much. Long may this continue, and I look forward to coming back. God bless you and good evening.
Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you more often than not. We love you all. Thank you very much. Madam Leena Pannambalam, would you like to say a couple of words? Or okay, let's go to Madam Cheryl. Can we have a word or two as the polls go about your feedback about the meeting?
Yeah, first of all, I can only say thank you to your VP membership. He was the one who convinced me to come and join for the meeting. And because the summer holidays are going on and due to the unprecedented situation, I couldn't travel back to India. So it was a great Friday evening, great experience to learn with. And I'm sure a few of the points I'm going to implement it in my classrooms as well. So thank you so much. I really love the general evaluation and table topic especially. Sorry, I mean, everybody has performed very well. But the thing which I am taking back is, as a takeaway, is from the general evaluator, from grammarian, and definitely a lot from table topic master. Because this is a fun way which generally I also do it in my classrooms. And I want to, I will teach it to my team as well. So thank you all, fellow Toastmasters, and I'm definitely looking for more meetings with you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for your presence. Thank you. By the way, I left one
certificates
question.
Are ready.
Yeah. Yeah, please.
But can I share?
Yes, sure.
Okay, thank you.
Nidhi, please note down the winners' names. Nidhi.
Best timer counter grammarian award goes to DTM Rekha Uttap. And best TMOD GE Toastmaster Table Topic Master Award goes to DTM Hisham Jifri. Best Table Topic Commentator Award goes to Mrs. Cyril Dimri. Best Evaluator Award goes to Toastmaster Jeffrey Abraham. And Best Speaker Award goes to Toastmaster Anil Kumar. Best Gavalier Speaker Award goes to Gavalier Toastmaster Lina Meto. Thank you.
Lovely. Beautiful, Prabodha. Lovely certificates. Congratulations to all the winners. Hearty congratulations. Very well done. And well, I think do we have any guests? Before that, I think I left a question to be answered in the beginning. I said I have two favorites as far as English language is concerned. I said I will spill the beans later. Of course, one is Rekha ji. And second person among my friends who knows, writes, speaks best English, unfortunately was supposed to come here. He didn't come because he had a booster shot and then he's having a fever. Dr. Suresh Karunakar. Okay. Those are two of my favorites. Of course, there are Dr. Babu Ramachandran, then Jeffrey, Hisham, and Sukumar. All of you have great English language skills, but you are my favorite in some other areas. So that's the thing. Well, do we have any guest? Sorry?
A few words from Jacob, if he's around, just for.
Yeah, Jacob, I can see, but the switched off. Jacob, Mr. Jacob, can we have a word or two from you?
He is there. I wish to thank especially Ponnambalam, who is working with me for the past 10 years, to have invited me to this meeting. Though I'm a teacher, I'm only comfortable within the four walls of a classroom. I'm not very comfortable on table topics, but today's meeting has given me a motivation to come and join this frequently, even if I'm in India. And also wish to thank Dr. Babu Ramachandran, though we studied in the same school and we were able to only communicate yesterday. And I wish him all the best. And I also take this opportunity to wish all the Toastmasters a very, very bright 2021. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. We wish you a happy journey, happy stay, and wish you good health and wonderful life. Thank you for attending. Has anybody got anything to say before we adjourn the meeting?
Yes, what a wonderful way of beginning the year, President. Immaculate address, wonderful reports, lovely coordination. I think it was beautiful. And I did not build up when I said the whole meeting looked like a midnight summer dream. It did. It looked like a well enacted play, wonderfully choreographed. And we look forward to such meetings, 30 plus attendance every week.
Yes,
Thank
we
you very much.
all thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you very
Perfect
much.
start. Perfect start.
Thank you very much. Dr. Babu, whenever he is a TMOD, we always cross 30. So unfortunately, he cannot be TMOD every time. Okay. Thanks a lot, guys.
Good start.
Good start.
Very good start.
Good
Dr.
start.
You all are
Rahim and team.
threatening me. You all are threatening me in the name of Dr. Babu,
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Not the second
Next TMOD. Next TMOD will bring 35 people.
Inshallah.
Competition.
Yeah.
He will make us do yoga for
Great.
sure.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you, DTM Hisham. It was a wonderful meeting.
Okay, Rekha. Bye.
It was
Take care.
fantastic. It was a phenomenal, distinguished meeting.
Thank you, DJ Rekha.
Right, Jeffrey. I agree with you. Absolutely correct.
Will we continue the same?
Correct, Jeffrey.
Yeah. Thank you. And let's adjourn the meeting, right? Good night.
Yes, of course.
And
Good
take
night.
care and keep safe.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
night, everyone. Take care. It was
General
always
evaluation report.
Bye-bye.
We learned a lot as well from you as to how you can spruce up and give a different general evaluation. Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
Bye,
Really
Hisham.
Super,
That was
super
very
people.
good. Take
Thank
care.
you,
Very,
Doctor.
very good evaluation. Great.
Thank you
Great.
so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, Ganapati. See you. I got another
Great
meeting.
to see you. DTM Hisham.
See you.
Thank you, sir.
DTM
Nice
Hisham.
meeting you.
Wonderful
Thank you.
evaluation. See you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
I appreciate it.